Greetings everyone. Well, it's Blu-ray update time again. This time around we got a few more additions to the sci-fi collection, and that's what we're going to talk about today on the Multimedia Chronicles. Welcome back. It is freaking boiling in here, so excuse the background noise. I'm going to turn on the fan. That's so much better. All you people out there who have central air or window air conditioners, man, you don't know how lucky you are. Alrighty, well, as I enjoy the relaxing breeze from the wind machine over there, let's talk about the new Blu-rays. Okay, so first off, as you may have noticed, I've been on a bit of a Neil Marshall kick over the past few months, slowly working my way through his catalogs. The first one I watched was Centurion, which I quite enjoyed. And then I saw The Descent, which I quite enjoyed, but found the opening scene a bit difficult to watch, being the loving father of a wonderful little girl. And I recently picked up Doomsday. Yeah, gotta love a good sort of post-apocalyptic nightmare kind of story. Now, I gotta say, Mr. Neil Marshall, what is it with so many of your movies having horrible things happening to little kids in the opening scenes? Like, seriously, do you just hate kids? Like, what's the deal there? Okay, spoiler alert for those who haven't seen it. I, as the loving father of a wonderful little girl, found the opening scene of this movie extremely hard to watch. But I stuck with it because I knew that the whole movie wasn't going to be like that, and I wanted to, see where it was going. So, and I mean, knowing what I've seen of Neil Marshall's stuff, he doesn't do that kind of shit without a good reason. So there was purpose to this. But here's the thing, get this. The opening scene. So basically what we have here is the story of a plague that breaks out in Glasgow. So the opening scene shows the sort of military response to that, where they're quickly erecting this huge wall, to seal off the city. And the panicked populace of the city is trying to get out, and the soldiers are basically just gunning down people as they're trying to get through the door as they're sealing up the wall. And one of the main characters that we keep coming back to, there's the crowds, but there's also a mother with a little girl. A little girl with dark brown hair, wearing a purple jacket, who looked so much like Rosie, it was really personally disturbing to me. Yeah, Rosie has a purple jacket very similar to that, and her hair is almost identical to that, and just the cute, adorable little face was very similar to Rosie, and the age of the little girl was almost exactly the age that Rosie's at now. So, yeah, took it kind of personal. Can you blame me? So what happens is the mother is carrying the little girl, trying to get out of the city, and the soldiers sort of open fire indiscriminately into the crowd, trying to keep everybody back. The mother quickly shields the little girl until the shooting stops, and then lets go and says, it's okay, are you okay? And the little girl has had her eye shot out by a stray shot from one of the soldiers. And just the look on the kid's face is like just complete shock and terror and just having no idea what's going on. And it was very difficult to watch. So then what ends up happening is the mother quickly wraps up a bandage around the kid's head, and the kid's fine. She's just had her eye shot out, but she's not going to die or anything like that. So then she runs off, she sees a helicopter taking off full of soldiers and says, like, please, can you take us out of here? My little girl's been injured and blah, blah, blah. And they're like, no, we don't have room. But then one of the soldiers jumps off and says, well, take the kid. We can take the kid, but we can't take the mother. So just to add even more heartbreak to it, the little girl gets torn away from her mother and taken off with these soldiers. That's just the opening 5 minutes of the movie. I mean, I just want to prepare any parents out there who might find that kind of thing disturbing, that I found it very hard to watch. But, okay, so fast forward to about 20 or so years later. She's all grown up. She's basically lived a military life and is a kick-ass military soldier, special agent type person with an awesome cybernetic eye in place of her eye that was shot out. So it all turns out okay in the end. So basically what ends up happening is Glasgow's been sealed off all this time, holding in the plague so that it doesn't spread. But cases start showing up elsewhere in the world of this plague breaking out, so it's getting outside the city. However, they see some aerial photographs of inside Glasgow, and there's people running around in there. They thought, well, shouldn't everybody be dead by now? Which indicates that there may actually be a cure, or there may be people who are immune to it, because there's a doctor in there who was like a biochemist or something, and so he may actually have found a cure. So basically, you can see where this is going. They basically want to send, kick-ass special agent chick into the city to find the doctor, get the cure, and bring it out. So it kind of has a bit of an Escape from New York vibe to it. Inside Glasgow by this time has just become completely lawless. I mean, it's basically become like a Mad Max world within the walls of the city. But of course, the girl has a secondary motive for wanting to take on this mission, and that is, of course, to find out if her mother is still alive. Is her mother still alive? Does she reunite with her mother? Well, you're just going to have to watch the movie and find out for yourself. But that's essentially the premise. Big plague, everything's going to hell. They got to find a cure before it spreads all over the world, and everything goes even more to hell. So what did I think of Doomsday overall? Well, it was okay, honestly. I mean, for all the raw emotional power of the opening scene, I thought the rest of the movie didn't quite live up to that. I mean, it's a fairly straightforward actioner with some Mad Max elements, and there's some good blood and guts and some good fight scenes and whatnot, and it's an entertaining little time waster. I would not say it's one of Neil Marshall's best. I still rank The Descent as the best of his films that I've seen. I have not seen Dog Soldiers yet. That's pretty much top of the Neil Marshall list now for ones that I need to see. And I like Centurion a lot, actually. So I would say in my personal Neil Marshall list, from best to least best, would be The Descent, Centurion, then Doomsday. And, well, it remains to be seen where I'm going to put Dog Soldiers on that list. So what we got for extras on here? We have a couple of things. We have feature commentary with director Neil Marshall and cast members Sean Pertwee. That's John Pertwee's son, by the way. Yes, John Pertwee, the third Doctor Who. Sean Pertwee is his son, and is quite an excellent actor himself. Unfortunately, I think he gets terribly underused in this film. He really only has a couple of major scenes, and that's it. But so that was kind of disappointing. He was also in Event Horizon, which, as you know, is one of my all-time favorite sci-fi horrors. He had a lot more to do in Event Horizon, and I really liked his character in that. So anyway, feature commentary with director Neil Marshall and cast members Sean Pertwee, Darren Morfitt, Rick Warden, and Les Simpson. And that's really the only sort of major feature. But then in addition to that, you have Blu-ray exclusive U-Control features, which are things that it's kind of like Infinifilm, where it's featurettes and stuff that you call up while you're watching the movie. So you have the Reaper virus files. While you watch the movie, crack open top secret DDS intelligence files and get the classified details on the events, players, and more. Yeah, I guess I forgot to mention, the virus that's plaguing the world is called the Reaper virus. It essentially kills you very quickly. No, it doesn't turn you into zombies. It just kills you. It's a very fast-acting, brutal virus. Then we have tech specs. Get in-depth technical specs on the film's awesome Bentley and outrageous weapons as you see them in action. And picture-in-picture. With just one click, access interactive cast and crew interviews and behind-the-scenes footage using the picture-in-picture feature while you watch the movie. Now that's pretty cool, because that gives you probably the most in-depth pile of information about the making of the movie. And there's a lot of good stuff in there. I just kind of skimmed it. I didn't really sit down and watch the whole thing, but with all the features. But I did kind of skim them just to see what kind of goodies were there. And it looks like a pretty well-rounded extras package. The only thing that bugs me is there doesn't seem to be any way to access those featurettes and whatnot outside of watching it with the U-Control feature. So, whatever. Alrighty. So, let's take a look here. We got a nice, shiny, metallic slipcover, which we've been looking at for 10 minutes. And then let's take a look inside. Same thing there. And then we open her up. And it's one of those annoying clip ones again that I don't like. Just open it up there and spin that around. And oh my god, an insert! Wow! Can you believe it? A slip cover and an insert? What are the odds? It's amazing. So anyway, we got a very nice disc art there. Let's take a quick peek at the insert. We have Doomsday, and then inside basically shows you how to access the various special features. Whoops, and I just sent it flying. And on the back you just have some ads for stuff. And what's this? Collect your own movie clips. Make a bookmark, create a clip. What's the point of that? I don't know, whatever. Anyway, so you got a little user guide to the U-Control features, which is quite handy if you don't know how to use U-Control. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for the insert. Yeah, there's no chapter list or anything. Whatever. It's an insert. I'm just thrilled that there's an insert. That just seems to be such a rare treat nowadays. Alrighty, so let's close that up here.